Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. This is Shawnee.
And this is Rhodey.
And welcome to Not Your Average Church Girls Podcast. With the Z.
With a Z. And we are so happy to have you join us for season 2.
Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
And that's all the excitement you're going to get for right now.
Yes, season 2. Wow. We got through season 1. We are actually on season 2. How many episodes did we do of season 1? 20.
Let's see. Let me check. We did technically 22.
Wow.
And we didn't know if we get through episode 1. So thank you all so much for being with us through all of those times.
Yes.
And through all the technical difficulties, because we had a lot of technical difficulties.
Yes. Thank you.
Every week it seemed like it was something. But we are so glad that you were here for the beginning of season 2.
Yes.
We decided to start season 2 off on a light note. And the theme of this week's episode is, I need a vacation.
Yes,
I don't know
Lord.
how many of you need a vacation, but I need a vacation.
If I could put both hands, both feet up at the same time, I would, because I need a vacation desperately. Like, oh my gosh. I need a vacation. Well, let me be clear. I need a happy, stress-free vacation.
Yes.
Let me put it that way. Because sometimes things can happen. You could get a vacation from your everyday life, but it may not be the kind of vacation that you really want. You understand what I mean? Like, God forbid you end up at a hospital or something like that. So
that's not a vacation. I don't even think of that as a vacation. When I think of vacation, I think of relaxation. Somebody waiting on me for once instead of me waiting on somebody else.
Well, and that too, because sometimes you go on vacation and it's not always relaxing. It's not always stress-free. I would love to be able to just, I don't even have to be on the beach. I just need a hotel room that's ocean front where I can see the beach directly. I don't want a partial view. I want the front view of the entire ocean, and a nice balcony, a nice hotel room. And I'm telling you, let me be in a nice location where there's nice restaurants, nice shops, and I'll be happy. Like, I don't need a lot. I really do not, to be content. That right there, just to be at the beach. I don't need. I'm not a sand person. I really don't like to be in the sand.
I like the idea of a beach. I'll walk on the boardwalk.
I will do that. Yes, I will do that.
I technically sit on the beach. I prefer to sit on a chair in the beach. I don't like to sit in the sand because sand gets into everything.
That's the reason why I don't really care for the sand, because I feel like it gets in every crevice. Like, it gets everywhere.
And no matter, you could take your beach towel
or
tent, whatever it is, and spray the thing down with water.
Yep.
You could air it out for 3 days, and it would still have sand somewhere in it.
Absolutely. That's why I'm like, let me have a nice sized balcony. That, I mean, for me, that will have me content. But now that I'm a dog owner, it's kind of stressful, because back in the days when I was younger, we had 2 cats, and we would go down south on vacation, and we would leave the cats alone. Only thing we would do is make sure they had a lot of water and a lot of food to last them.
Their litter box was,
and make sure they litter box was clean.
I'll leave 2 litter boxes just in case, so that one isn't overflowing.
Right. So, but with dogs, they're a little bit more, to me, I find they're a little bit more needy than cats are.
Oh, they are, absolutely. I had a dog. I had a Doberman.
Well, then you know that like it's not easy just to leave them.
You can't just leave a dog. You
No.
have to have something.
And the thing is, even if like so I'm trying to think about what I want to do for my daughter for her 26th birthday. And I'm thinking like I would love to be able to go on a weekend girls trip or something like that. And I'm thinking
that would be nice. I think she'd like that.
I think so too, but I'm thinking like it would have to be somewhere where we can drive so we could actually take the dogs as well, because number one, I just keep hearing so many horror stories about people taking their dogs to these border places, or even my neighbor upstairs says she had taken her dog to one of these places that had like really great reviews. She had went there, checked things out, everything looked great. When she came back to pick up her dog was really sick. I mean, and that could just be, kind of like when you take your child to daycare. That could just be like, the rolling of the dice. But I keep hearing stories of people coming back and their dogs are dead. And I'm like, oh my God, that, like, I actually just read an article on Newsbreak today, or yesterday. These people hired
I'm reading these articles and scaring yourself half to death.
I know. Hired a dog sitter, and a dog sitter ended up shooting and killing their dog. And so I'm like, oh. So wherever we go, it's going to have to be places where we can drive, and that where we can actually take the dogs as well. And to be honest with you, I feel like when we have to take the dogs, it's not quite a vacation either. Because we still got to take them out. I still have to make sure they have their food and their water and all that stuff. So,
well, your dogs are super spoiled.
Yes, they are. They really are. They are. I'm laughing because you said they are super spoiled.
They're super spoiled. So if somebody says, okay, I took them to the park, I played with them, I gave them cold water, I gave them a snack, I brushed them behind the ears or whatever and played with them for like an hour, okay, I'm good. They'd be like, nope.
Yeah, because
that's not what my mommy does.
Especially because they like to get home-cooked food. And they're used to getting home-cooked food every day in addition to their kibble. So I'm thinking that if we were to, like, not for her birthday, but maybe next year go on a vacation or a cruise or something, that one time we took Winter, I was going to call him Ashley. We took Winter to this place in Newark, and we was able to watch him on camera. And he was only there half of an hour because this is before we got Savage Blue. Because Rhodey, I started missing him. So I went back and picked him up. So Ashley said she's looking on the camera and they just see them taking Winter and taking him out, and then she didn't see him anymore on camera. And she was like, so she called us like, I know someone is taking my dog out, but I don't know where they're taking him to. And they said, oh, because your mother is here picking him up. She was like, what? She called, Mommy, why are you picking him up? We just dropped him off not too long ago. I said, because I missed him. I didn't want him to be. And plus, Winter is really, oh my gosh. He is so introverted like I am. Savage is totally different. Savage is extroverted. I would say he's extroverted. Winter is not. Winter is really introverted. And so he wasn't even like playing with other dogs. He was literally just standing there looking around. The entire time, just standing there. Not even sniffing other dogs. Literally just standing there. And I was like, oh my goodness, my dog seems so out of place. So that's the thing about when you're a dog owner and wanting to go on vacation. You trusting
have to make
people.
Sure they're good.
Yes, and really trusting people. It's like trusting people with your children. And I know everyone does not look at their pets like that. That's how I look at my dogs. So I really need I have not been on.
My fur babies are very spoiled.
Huh?
My fur babies are spoiled.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So I haven't had a real vacation. Honestly, I don't think I've had a real vacation in like 25 years.
It's time to go. It's time to find somebody. I would happily take them, but I have 2 cats.
I know.
I've had cat, dog. I have had a cat, dog, goldfish, and turtle. So
wow,
I'm all around the pet realm.
Wow, that's what Ashley wanted. She was like, "Can we get it?" Because she wants another dog, and I said no. She was complaining about spending $300 at the vet today, and I said, "You talk about you want another dog?"
Dogs are very expensive. Not that cats aren't, but dogs seem to be more expensive than cats.
I absolutely, because I'm gonna be honest with you. The funny thing is, this is weird because we're talking about our pets. Initially, you said you wanted the topic to be about our fur babies, but then you changed it to vacations. And look at us, we're still talking about our fur babies.
We're still talking about the fur babies because they're spoiled. And people, if you have your pets, if you don't have a pet, people might say, well, why are you so into your pets and so X, Y, and Z? Well, I can only say from my experience, there have been times when I was upset or sick or just exhausted, and my babies could sense it, and they would come sit next to me, they put their paw on my arm, or they would nuzzle my neck or nuzzle my leg, make sure I was feeling better. And they didn't care if I was broke.
Yep.
They didn't care if I had gained weight.
They don't care if you stink.
Exactly. Now, they might look at me funny if I need a shower, but honestly, at the end of the day, they don't care. They don't care what car you're driving.
Nope.
They don't care if you have on the latest fashion.
It's unconditional love. It's just unconditional love.
This is love.
It really, and for me, what I tell people is, Winter entered my life at a very pivotal moment in my life, and he literally changed my life. Like, literally. Like, he changed my life. And people might be like, what you mean? How a dog change your life? He really changed my life because I had just had surgery earlier that year. And my daughter had been wanting a dog pretty much her entire life. And I kept telling her, no. But within your spirit, where God has put something in your spirit. And I knew.
Pets are really good for kids.
Huh?
I said pets are really good for kids. If you're on the fence about getting your child a pet, it can teach them responsibility. It can teach, if somebody or something else is counting on you, that pet can't go to the store. The pet can't take itself for a walk or clean its own litter box. Your pet needs certain things, and that'll help your child know, hey, it can't always be all about me.
Right. So for my daughter we adopted him in July. Her 21st birthday was coming up in September. And out of nowhere, I never forget it. It's like God literally just it's not like he didn't speak to me. It's like, Shanique, we'll go let Ashley get. Wasn't nothing like that. It was just like I felt it. I can't explain it to you. I just knew in my spirit that it was time to allow her to get a dog. But so I sent her a picture of this. Winter was not even on their website. I sent her a picture of this smaller white dog. And when she saw me send her that picture, this was on a Sunday. She took that as my mom saying I could get a dog. So that Monday morning, her and my niece up early, bathed and out the house. Where y'all going? We're going to the Providence out in Media, PA. And like I said, the people had just gotten Winter not that long ago. That's why he wasn't even on their website. And so my niece called me and she was like, Auntie Neek, this is maybe the perfect dog for you guys. Like trying to really sell me on Winter. And they couldn't adopt him that day because by the time they finished looking at all the pets and spending time with them, it was too late to go through all of the steps. But they were not the only people looking at winter. It was other people who were looking at winter as well. So they told them to come back the next day. So they went back the next day, and it was a line. But my niece, being the person that she is, she walks up to, I guess, one of the workers and says, when are you guys going to let us in? And the lady said, oh, you guys can go ahead and go in. So when she said that, my niece was able to go ahead and go in first. And that's how they got access to winter first. And she said the other people were there as well because they wanted winter. But because they got in first, they were able to get winter. And so the point of how he changed my life is because I had back surgery earlier that year. And I was still using my walker. I was not extremely mobile. Still in a lot of pain. But when my daughter went back to college and my niece went back to New York, I had no other choice but to be here with the dog. And when I tell you, I've never been so stressed out before. I kept praying and praying before they left. God, what am I going to do? I could barely walk myself. How am I going to walk this dog? And I prayed. I prayed over this dog. When I tell you, Rhodey, I don't know if I ever said this to you before, but it's like really God has given Winter is like my personality. Like he's just like me, like, but in dog form. And it's so weird. And it's like, oh my goodness. I prayed that prayer. I asked God to make him like me. To make him like that we're so compatible. And no lie to you, like he is introverted like I am. He has no problem being alone. Like he is so like me. So when I started taking him out, he was very patient with me. I guess he realized that I couldn't walk fast. He walked slow with me. But how he changed my life was he forced me to have to move. Whereas if he had not come in my life, I probably would still been taking my time, not moving as quickly, just being in the pain and just living in that pain and not trying to force myself out of the situation. But with having him, it made me to force myself beyond my situation because he depended on me. He couldn't walk himself. So I had to start walking him. And what that in turn did, it made me stronger. And then next thing I know, I go from having a walker to start walking with a cane. And I mean, not like long, like I'll say a couple of weeks. Going from a walker to a cane. And I was like, oh my God, my back was getting stronger. Even people that I did not know in my complex was stopping me and saying, oh my God, I see you have a dog now. You're looking good. You used to have your walker. Now I see you have the cane. The dog is really good for you. So that's how he helped to change my life. He got me moving. He got me. And even to this day, no matter how bad I feel, I still have to go out there. Now, I can't because of my knee right now. I cannot walk the way I was walking before. I don't have the ability. So that has been not only difficult on me, it has also been difficult on the dogs. Because they're used to me walking them around the entire complex. I cannot do that right now. Although I wish I could.
Again?
Huh?
I said, you will again.
Yes, and I know that. I believe that. But at this point, right now, I just cannot do it. So for me, that's how he really changed my life.
And pet people, like, I hate dogs, I hate cats. It has been my experience that most people that say they hate the pet have never even had a pet.
That is, let me tell you, and that is true because my aunt says that too. But she never allowed any animals in her house. I went down south when we had my brother's funeral. She allowed me to bring my dog down. When I brought my dog down, people was like, "Oh my God, we know we always say she shows you favoritism because she never lets anybody bring their dog in her house." Da, da, da. She's sitting there eating. What I see her doing, feeding Winter out of her hand. The same person. I don't like dogs. Da, 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 I don't want nobody's dog in my house. She's sitting there feeding Winter. So I absolutely agree. Most people that say that kind of stuff never even had a pet before.
Never had a pet. They don't know what having a pet is like.
And don't get me wrong, yes, it's work. I'm not going to sit here and lie. but it's not work the way people act like it is. Not for me.
But you'll put work. I've seen people put hours of work into a shoe collection, hours of work into fantasy football, hours of work into
right.
Who knows what all. But they won't put hours of work into a dog. And don't get me wrong, if you know you're not going to treat the dog right, then don't have one.
Don't like I read a lot of articles recently about people will adopt dogs, and because the dog didn't act the way they thought the dog, every breed is not the same. And even if you have two of the same breed, doesn't mean they're going to act the same way. Just like people, we all have different personalities.
I would say this. This is, animals are not a Disney movie.
No.
You expect them to be like the Disney Channel where, Mickey and Minnie are sitting there singing and dancing. Animals have their own personality, and they have to adjust to you just like you have to adjust to them. It's not add a puppy and stir and everything will turn out right. Another thing, too, people mess up is like Christmas or Easter or Valentine's Day, they'll get a little baby duck or baby rabbit or something else, and then they don't realize that the little baby duck or rabbit is not a stuffed animal.
Right.
It needs food. It needs love and attention. And just like some days you're not in the mood, someday your pet's not in the mood.
Listen, and that is the truth. And you have to know the difference. You have to know when they're like, back up. I don't want to be pet right now.
I don't want to be touched or held or pet or anything. But people don't think of it as, okay, my pet needs 5 minutes just like I need 5 minutes. They get mad at the animal and they'll put it outside.
Absolutely. And people don't realize, especially when you have certain, like, dealing with something like a guinea pig or a rabbit, that these things do grow.
Yes.
They do grow.
They need food. If you have to eat, they have to eat. If you have to go to the bathroom, they have to go to the bathroom. Now, yes, my cat has a litter box, but Shaniqua's dogs have to be taken outside.
Absolutely.
Even if you have a pet like a guinea pig or something that's in a smaller cage, that cage has to be clean.
And because if you don't clean that stuff, guess what? Just like a fish tank, if you don't clean that fish tank, your house will smell.
It'll smell. The fish tank will get all grimy and yucky.
Yes, and it essentially it'll impact the fish. So I'm laughing because we're supposed to talk about vacations, and I'm laughing because the initial topic was to talk about our fur babies. That's why I'm cracking up over it. And then you switched it to we needing a vacation. We're still talking about animals. As you can tell, Rhodey and I both are animal lovers.
Love animals. I love animals. I'm not. If people say I'm a cat person, I'm a dog person. I'm an animal person. I love goats and horses and bears and ducks and platypus, all that.
No.
Now, I do know, like we just told you, all animals are not meant for pets.
Right.
Some of them are just meant to look at for their natural habitat. And we have to get out of this, like we said, about getting your loved one a pet specifically for Valentine's Day or getting your loved one a pet specifically for Easter. People will buy the cute little rabbits, ducks, birds, whatever, and don't, especially birds. That's a whole other conversation.
Well, that's a whole, because, I mean, for me, I feel like birds is a totally different beast of a pet. Like,
I had a former coworker, she had a bird, and she told me, she said, she loves her bird, but people don't realize the commitment.
Yes, they live an extremely long. Mom Johnson, remember the lady that used to belong to our church? She had a bird for years.
Who had a bird?
Mom Johnson.
Did she?
Yes. Yep, she had a bird. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep, this thing used to make noise, and like she used to just tell me when she had to clean out, like she used to have to clean out his cage because once he got out, it was a pain trying to get him back in that cage. Oh my god! So yeah, and then some of them they talk.
My former coworker said her particular breed could live up to 80 years.
Whoa! That's commitment. Like, seriously, that's commitment.
And she also told me it's not like a cat because a cat, you can, like I said, I can leave for 3 or 4 days, and as long as I have food, water, and a couple of clean litter boxes, I'm good.
Right.
With a bird, you can't do that. With a bird, you have to clean the cage every single day.
Oh, I did not know that.
You can't like skip a day or skip 2 days.
Oh, I did not know that.
Not if you want your house to smell decent. You have to clean it every day.
Well, you know what, Rhodey? It's just like people, everybody's like this, the idea of having their own chickens. I want my own chickens in my backyard.
Oh, you must have been reading my mind because I was just about to say that.
But they don't realize all that comes with having chickens. Like, it's not a, and especially depending on what state you live in. Because thankfully we don't live in a state where we have eagles and I don't
maybe some downstate, but
okay.
People don't realize with chickens is that the coop has to be cleaned every day.
But that's what I was about to say. That's a lot of work, especially depending if you have a really nice how people doing these more extravagant kind of coops that look like houses and stuff. You really have to clean that stuff out, clean up that poop and all of that stuff. It's work. It's work.
My family's from the country, and even if they weren't, you do research. If your chicken coop, or let's say you have cows or horses,
yep.
If you don't clean their stuff every day, it'll throw rats.
Yep.
Just be honest.
My family down south, they used to
and watch one too many DIY people saying they have chickens. You do realize you have to feed the chickens. If
absolutely.
you out of town on vacation, you have to have somebody come in and tend to those chickens. You can't just leave them.
Absolutely. And again, like I said, depending on what state you live in, you got to really think about the kind of housing you keep them in. Because if you live somewhere where you really have hawks and eagles and coyotes, you really have to make sure you protect these chickens because they could be gone in an instant.
Yes, because there is such a thing, not just Tom and Jerry. There is really such a thing as a chicken hawk that will eat your chicken.
Like literally, like I've seen eagles literally pick up a deer. Like I was dumbfounded, Brody, because I've seen them pick up coyotes. I've seen them pick up small dogs and stuff like that. I could not believe when I saw this eagle pick up this deer. I did not think it was going to be able to lift that deer up and carry that deer on. It picked up a full, it wasn't even a junior deer. This looked like a full grown, it wasn't a buck, but it looked like a full grown deer. And this eagle picked it up and flew away. And I was like, oh my gosh. And someone said in the
before people take on a lot of pets, they should watch a couple of episodes of National Geographic.
Yes, yeah. Or even just go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and watch, like, seriously, like the nitty gritties of having whatever pet you're. Even like even it could be just something of having a cat or a dog. All breeds are not alike. Because the way my cats were very tame. The videos I see on TikTok of people's cats, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would not be able to handle me opening my refrigerator and my cat jumping in my refrigerator. I would not be able to. I would not be able to handle my cats jumping on my table or stove or jumping inside my cabinet looking for their treats. My dogs are not allowed in my kitchen, so I could not handle that kind of stuff. Or not even that. Some cats are just mean. Like you ever see that? What's that show they used to come on with the cat? Oh my God. Oh, it's called My Cat from Hell. I think that's what it was called.
Some animals really do. Actually, most of them have their own little personality.
Yeah, like seriously, like they do.
They will come up, and if you're not giving them the attention they want at that moment, because I know both of my babies, they'll tap you.
Yep.
If you're not giving them the attention, you're like, did you just meow at me? And they are talking to you.
Yep.
I mean, they're meowing, but they're want the attention just like a person. If
yep.
you were next to a person, and you weren't giving the person the attention they wanted. They would say something to you.
Yep, that's savage. That's how Savage does me. Yep, I could always tell. Or 1 to 2, when he wants attention, if I act like I don't see him, he'll nudge me. He'll make sure he'll feel me, like he'll put his nose on me, do something to let me know, hey, I'm right here. And what I have to realize too, because sometimes I get so caught up in my devotionals that when especially Savage, when he comes to play, I hate stopping my devotionals to do anything. I just want to go ahead and get them done. But then I have to realize, Shaniqua, he doesn't know what you're doing, and he really doesn't care. All he knows
I think
is
he does know what you're doing, because these animals do too much. Because I'm saying sometimes, and it's the opposite way. If you're like, okay, I have about 15-minute free. I just want to give you love and kisses. They want nothing.
They want nothing to do with you.
So wait until you sit down and start concentrating.
Yep.
On something.
You're right. You're right. You're right about that.
You could be reading. You could be balancing your checkbook. You could be trying to take, like, let's say you had a really long day and you just want to take a 15-minute nap. They didn't want to talk to you all that time until it was nap time.
Yep. You're absolutely right on that. You are really right on that.
I've had pets since I was about 12, 13 years old, and they know what they're doing.
We got our 2 twins. I think I was 2 years old when we got my 2 twin cats, and I named them Mutt and Jeff.
Oh, that's cute.
And Jeff died when I was in 3rd grade from cancer. I'm assuming he had cancer. Mutt didn't die until I moved to Delaware when I was 24. Mutt died right before I moved to Delaware. Yep, so he lasted like 22 years. And I cried like a baby. Oh my goodness, I was so hurt.
A friend of mine lost her dog, and she doesn't have any kids by choice. She just, she's a sweet person, but she just her doggy died. It's got to be almost a year now, and she's still, mourning her puppy.
Listen,
that was her baby.
Let me tell you, I anoint my dogs every single day before we go outside every day, so they get anointed at least twice a day. And
your dogs are spoiled.
So
people even praise over their food.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. She prays over their food.
I do, and they sit down. Now, Winter, Savage is really good at sitting down, waiting to. Winter sometimes act like a heathen, and he's the same one.
Did you don't talk about my Winter? He's a sweet puppy.
He is, but when he gets hungry, it's so weird. Because Savage will eat all day long. You hear me? Like, literally all day long. Winter is not like that. So I don't understand why he keeps gaining weight. And I think I told you earlier, she took him to the doctor, and the doctor told us the lump that he has is a fatty lump. And I'm thinking, like, Ashley's like, Mommy, Winter is too fat. And I'm like, well, I don't understand why he keeps gaining weight. Because he does not even eat like that. Like, literally, he does not.
He might honestly have a thyroid issue.
Oh, I pray that's not the case either. Lord have mercy.
I mean, no, thyroid issues, if, you get them in time, they are controllable.
No, I know. I'm just hoping, like, because, we have pet insurance, but it's a lot. I want anyone. Now, mind you, when I had my 2 cats, my cats were indoor cats. They never went outside. But guess what? My one cat, he died when I was in 3rd grade. So he didn't last that long. However, my other cat lasted 22 years, and they had never been to a vet. And guess what? They ate food from the corner store. The food that came in a box from the corner store. The Purina cat chow. That's what they ate. And my one of my cats lasted 22 years. Now, my dogs, they get the best dog food. They don't get just any kind. They don't get dog food from the grocery stores. We get it from Chewy, or actually go to the pet store and get them top of the line dog food. Take them to the vet as they need to go, and they still get sick. I was just telling Rody that Savage is always, and we giving them vitamins, giving them salmon oil, coconut oil, ester seed, give them this Seymour stuff, and he still gets ear infections because he has severe allergies. When we first got winter, he had severe allergies as well. But I want to say that he outgrew his allergies. I'm hoping Savage will do the same. Because that Apoquil is expensive.
Pet care is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Girl.
So, yes, like you said, you don't have to get your pets the top of the line, this and that, but they do need basic food, shelter, clothes. Well, it depends on where you live.
Yeah.
People will put a coat on their dog because it's freezing outside.
Yep, I do.
They assume that their fur is enough, but
and it's not. Just even like their paws, like even when it's hot. What I found out, like I knew, like if it's hot, the concrete or the asphalt, whatever, is hot too. But I just found this out not too long ago, looking at a video on Instagram, and it actually broke it down. So if it's 87 degrees outside, that asphalt is like 117 or something like that. And I can't remember the exact numbers, but it broke it down to let you know if it's 87 where you live at, that what the concrete, the street that your dog is walking on, their paws, is 100 and something. And it like broke down a lot of different numbers, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought about it like that. That it was that much hotter.
Yeah, it's concentrated. I remember a few weeks ago, Tyler and I didn't do it. We forgot about it, but we were going to take an egg outside and fry it on the sidewalk because it was just so hot here.
Girl, oh. And today is one of those days where it's very hot.
Yeah, but it should break overnight.
Yeah. Thank God we're not going to be in like a heat wave.
I'm glad.
Girl, you and me both. You and me both. So what I always tell people who say they want a dog, like my niece, she wanted a dog. And I said, so I was honest with her. I said, listen, you're already struggling financially. You don't need a dog right now.
Exactly. And yes, every person on this, well, I'll say this, most people on the planet want something to love, something to spoil a little bit. So you have your pet. The pet, if you have something that breathes, it needs to eat. It needs to go to the bathroom. It needs attention.
It needs to go to the vet.
Yes.
Like, I have to stress that because these vet bills, and just like everything else went up, these vets have gone up too, because it used to be $40 for the doctor visit. Now it's $50 just for the office visit, not including if they need shots and different medication, all that kind of stuff. So I always tell people, having animals, especially dogs, you know, it really is another expense. And then you have, depending on the breed, and I'm quite sure it's probably like this with cats as well. See, I had a short hair cat, so they didn't need to go to groomers and stuff like that. But now that I think about it, they never got, we tried to wash them once or twice, and it was a mess. So, okay.
Well, every now and again, we'll just wipe them down.
Right. So, but when you have dogs, depending on the breed, and maybe it's like this with cats, like if you have a Maine Coon or something that has a lot of hair, maybe you may have to take that to the groomer. But like
I would say, invest in either a Swiffer or a pet a vacuum like Bissell.
Let me tell you something. Those, you know how many vacuums that we bought that said the hair don't get caught up. I have 2 vacuums right now that I spent a lot of money on them, and guess what? They stopped working. I don't know. Winter hair is too much for these vacuums, so I just literally bought a Shark Rocket that I just got in the mail. They just delivered it to me, and because I have 2, I have a Bissell and I have another expensive one, and did not even have them long, and they stopped working.
I would highly recommend you get a quality broom because you're going to need it.
Well, you know what I bought? I saw on TikTok, and Temu also has it, so does Shein. It's like these brooms that when you sweep, it brings up a lot. If you have like cats or dogs, it really does bring up a lot of the hair. But I would say still have a quality vacuum cleaner, and I would say vacuum first and then use that broom. Oh, you will be surprised at the hair. Girl, I bought this broom. The broom is really good. Like, you can use this broom for your kitchen floors, because you can use it just to sweep, and it gets angled. It goes in like to underneath the stove. It's really a really good broom. But it was too much for me to try to sweep my entire floor with that broom, because it was a lot. Like I said,
I have hardwood floors, but I've also lived in the house with carpeted floors with my cat, and it's just work.
It's work. I'm telling, girl.
You're gonna have to, go in your corners, under your
yes,
under your bed, under your dining room table, whatever. Get in there good, and you're still gonna have to go behind the broom with the Swiffer.
Yes, it's work. It really is work.
But you know what? It is a labor of love.
Yes, it is. I mean, I love...
Get mad at them because it's not their fault. They can't help that they shed.
Right. Like, I love my dogs. I love my dogs. Like, yes, they get on my nerves. Don't get me wrong. They get on my nerves, but it's just like your children. They get on your nerves, but you love them.
You love them. They do get on your nerves. There's times, like Shaniqua and I said, she's doing her devotionals, I'm studying for something, and they know that you're busy. But they keep on coming to pass.
Yes.
And you're like, please, I love you, but just, you don't want to be too negative. I'll just say, give mommy a break. Give mommy a break.
Yes.
Give mommy a break.
Just give me 15 more minutes. So then what I realized is, okay, Shaniqua, just stop and give him 5 minutes. If I just give him at least a good 5 minutes of playing tug of war with him. Now, the problem is playing tug of war with my dog, because he's a pit bull. He's extremely strong. And he's very smart. So when he thinks you're getting the best of him, he'll put his back legs down really hard on the ground, and he'll put his butt down really low. And he pulls. And I'm telling you, it's a lot. Like, Rhodey, it's a lot. I'm like, God, I'm not made for this. I have injuries in my body. I'm not made for this, God. Like, this dog is trying to take me out. What in the world? I try to play tug of war with him, but my God, he gets the best of me.
I had a Doberman. I understand.
Jeez.
They love to play pull and chase. And you're like, okay, we played for 10 minutes. I'm tired.
Yes.
They're not trying to hear that.
And then that's another thing, especially when it comes to dogs. And I'm talking about dogs because that's really... I've had 2 cats, but my cats were very chill. Dogs, depending on the breed, and not just the breed, depending on that particular dog. So if you're going to rescue a dog, what I would say is go and try to spend time with that dog. Now, you may not get the dog full personality, because sometimes dogs are sick. Like, we didn't know Winter was sick when we got him. They was about to walk out the out of Providence, and he started vomiting. And they had to take him back and check him up, and that's how we found that he had kennel cough.
What is kennel cough?
Kennel cough is pretty much kind of like having a flu for adults.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, the cough is really bad. Their nose can be runny. They can have temperatures. So yeah. So then we had to, they had to give her medication for him. So he was calm. So we thought he was just a very calm dog. But once he got better, his personality started coming out more. And we was like, oh.
Absolutely.
So you have to think about what kind of dog you're getting, what kind of breed. Because some breeds, like, I usually can walk my dogs around my entire complex. Some dogs need more than that. In my entire complex, it'll take us maybe like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Some dogs They need more exercise just with walking.
They need like 2-3 hours.
Yes, and they need running. They need stuff to keep up their stamina. Like, they need, like, you got to be careful with what you get because, like, I realize I'm not created for some of these things.
Yeah, sometimes I'll eat lunch in the park, and you see people always taking time to walk different dogs. Some dogs walk slow, some dogs walk faster, you know.
And they, like Rhodey said earlier, they have personalities. Like Winter, when it's time to go, he wants to run. Don't ever want to come put his stuff on so we can go. He always wants to run, wants somebody to chase behind him. I mean, when it's time to go, I have no, and Savage has picked up on a lot of Winter's bad behaviors.
They do. Oh my goodness, that's so true. They pick up each other's habits.
I'm telling you, it's really horrible.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
My older cat, we had him since 2011. And
oh, wow.
he was the only cat baby for a while. So about 5 years ago, I took in my sister's cat because she couldn't keep him anymore. About 5-6 years ago, actually. But anyway, my older cat used to not, all cats don't meow like that.
Right.
It's like, oh, they meow all the time. So my cat, the older one, if he meows, he would every now and again. But the younger one, she meows all the time. If she wants something, she meows. If she's in a good mood, bad mood, whatever, she meows. So my older one has started, if he doesn't get his way, he'll meow. And the first time he did it, he weirded us out because we weren't used to hearing him meow. So if he does something like that, we say, why are you using your voice? The other one taught you bad habits, and also she's picking up habits of his.
Yep.
And, they pick up each other's habits. You're like, wait a minute, you didn't used to do this.
I'm telling you, I don't really see that Winter has picked up any of Savage behavior, but I definitely, even walking them outside, Savage never used to bark at other dogs. Winter is the one that's always like to react and bark, even if it's not other dog, even if it's people. If no one says anything to him, he start barking at people. Like he wants to be acknowledged. That's how he acts. Like he wants somebody to say hi to him.
He's telling the absolute truth. You're like, what is wrong with you? And they'll just give you their little personalities because they want to know. And especially if they notice if the other animal does something and gets attention, I'm going to start doing it to get attention.
Yep. So now, what happens is when I'm walking him out, it's Savage. So as he see, but the thing is, he's a pit bull, and so his bark is totally different than Winter's bark. And then because of his breed, people are automatically leery and scared because of his breed. And then you have him with this bark, and then he has like these, my mom call them bubble eyes. His eyes are kind of big, and they grayish. And when he looks at you, it makes you feel like he's looking through at your soul, like no lie to you. Like one day we were walking, and I didn't realize this man was coming out the gym, and that man stopped. He said, "Sir," because Winter Savage was turning back, staring at him. He said, "Sir, you don't have to worry about me coming nowhere near you. I'm not moving until you go ahead about your business." And I said, "Savage, stop staring at that man and come on here." And he was still like, if he thinks someone's coming, and let me tell you, he has no respect to persons. Baby, he don't care if it's a child, a man, or a woman. If he think you coming in our vicinity, he's gonna bark and stare. And so he never used to do that, but he picked that up from Winter. So now it's like, Lord have mercy, how do I break this? It's so annoying. And I don't know if you notice this with your cats. The way they act with me and the way they act with my daughter, 2 different ways.
Very different.
Very, like my daughter's kind of like I would call like a military person. Like she is very stern, very lovable, very compassionate, all that stuff. But at the same time, she does not play with them. They don't act a fool with her. Me.
And also, too, and I know Shaniqua knows this, if they want something done, they know who to come to.
Yes. Yep.
To get it done. Like my older baby, if my son doesn't want to do something, or if he's doing the job halfway, the older baby will come to me and like pat me and be like, I basically know she's in charge.
Let me tell you something.
Like, make him go do it.
You are absolutely, like, if Ashley is getting on Savage, you know what he does? He comes and run behind me. If she's telling him Savage, da-da-da-da-da, he gets up and run and come and hide right behind me. That's what he does.
Yep.
Or, like...
And my dog used to do it years ago when I had a dog. Like, my brother was... He was technically my brother's dog, but he wasn't really. He was my dog. I loved him and took care of him. But if my brother was fussing at him or not being nice to him, he would come and run behind me because he knew that, while my brother would yell at me and stuff, it's only so far he goes.
Yep.
Me.
Yep.
So they know who is the person who's in charge of things.
And they know who, like, for example, they know, like, when I'm able to go to church. When I come home from church, when I tell you they're so happy to see me, not just because they're happy to see me, they're happy to see me because they know they're about to get food. And when I say food, I don't mean just their kibble in their bowls. Because they know when they with Ashley, all they're going to get, she's like, Mommy, I spent too much money on that kibble. They're going to eat that kibble. I take time and I cook for them. I cook potatoes for them. I cook carrots for them. I cook meatloaf for them. I cook steak for them. I cook pork chops for them. I cook chicken for them. I cook sweet potatoes. Like today, they had
the dogs eat better than I do.
Today they had roasted chicken and sweet potatoes. I cook eggs for them. So they get fed really well. So when they see me, they're like, oh, we're about to eat. And so they even know that when they're hungry, what they'll do is they'll come and start barking at me, especially Winter. He'll come and start barking at me. And when I finally follow him, he'll come and stand in front of the kitchen. And when he stands in front of the kitchen and start barking, it's either one or two things. He wants a snack. He wants me to give him some water out the refrigerator. Or he really wants to eat. He wants to eat. He's hungry. And so if I if I try to give him water and he turns away, I know that's not it. If I try to give him a snack and he doesn't want that, or if he eats it really quickly, I know, okay, he's hungry.
And people think, you just have to and be ready for that. They're not just going to, I'm here to be like a stuffed animal. They have personality.
Absolutely.
They have needs. And
absolutely.
They need love and attention too.
And be careful. Don't start anything that you can't hold out on. For example, like me saying cooking for them. Like now I have, like Rody said, they're extremely spoiled that they really expect it now. Like if they don't get food, like human food, they have a problem. Like it's a problem for them. Like they feel like they have not eaten. Regardless whether how much kibble they have in their bowls, if they have not got any human food, they feel like they have not eaten. So be careful and don't start feeding them from the table. Like if you don't want your dog in your face every time you go to eat, I'm telling you as someone who did it and who is suffering the consequences of it. If you do not want your dogs in your face,
or cats, okay, you do it too.
Well, you're right. Cats will do that too. If you don't want them in your face every time you're going to put a crumb or a morsel in your mouth, do not start feeding them from the table.
Like if we have yogurt with our breakfast. We'll take the yogurt lid, put a little scrapings of it and let them.
And they love that kind of stuff.
But afterward, they're going to be like, if they see you even think about opening a yogurt,
yep.
They expect the lid from the yogurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I buy Greek yogurt for them. I also buy them the whipped cream in a can. But it's only one brand because I didn't realize you know how they have the extra creamy and the regular? I didn't realize the extra creamy has other stuff in it that the regular one doesn't. Like I didn't realize it had all these extra ingredients in it. So I buy them that for their snacks and
meat sticks and water. Like I said, I put ice cubes.
Yes.
Water for treats. If you're not willing to keep up that type of behavior,
don't start it.
Don't start.
Do not start it.
And then when you don't do it, you'll get mad at them.
Yup.
They're just like, well, you gave it to me for the first 6 months I was here, then you stopped. That's not fair.
Absolutely, 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 absolutely. I mean, and they get attitudes. So they can get an attitude. Trust me. Cause my dog, when he think he's really telling us something, he be like, whoa, 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 and he start moving his head, and he'll take his paw and start slamming his paw on the ground. And that's when we know he really trying to tell us something. My daughter is like, Mommy, I think he's really trying to curse us out. We just don't know it. He's cursing us out because he really.
Yes, but we didn't mean to go this way. We initially started talking about vacation, and it just worked into our fur babies. And if anybody out there is considering having any type of pet, if it's a cat, dog, turtle, if you want to help take care of a horse, whatever the case may be, you better make sure that you have that commitment, because your animals will expect you to have that commitment. And just like people, they don't like to be fooled around with their emotions either.
Yep.
If you give them love, give them attention, and especially here's a thing for people who are considering a cat. Your cat is not just a mouse catcher. Your cat expects to have love and attention just like any other pet.
Wait, can I add a clause to that? Because she just said some cats don't even catch mice. So don't get a cat expecting because it's a cat that is automatically going to catch your mice. It may not be that kind of cat.
Some cats really are like Garfield. They will let the mouses go.
Like I saw this video. The lady had 2 cats and a dog, and it was a little mouse. And the mouse was just literally like playing tag with the and she was like, and one of y'all don't get this mouse, what are y'all doing? And they were just standing there looking at this thing. Was not trying to catch it, was not trying to do anything.
Thankfully, my cat will kill a mouse because, especially in the wintertime, you have field mice that are trying to get inside your house to keep warm.
Yes.
So if they come out of my backyard, there's my house, there's a backyard, then there's a daycare on the other side of my backyard. Kids leave stuff everywhere.
Yes.
So especially in the winter, the mice are looking for somewhere to stay warm. And I might get 1 or 2 for winter, but that's normal in houses. People are like, oh my goodness, if you see a mouse, no, that's,
Let me tell you, the guy that coming through our complex, he said to me, he said, Miss Bellamy, because I only had a mouse problem here one time, like literally. And when I called them and told them I saw a mouse, they said, Miss Bellamy, we don't have mice here. I said, I don't know what you normally don't have. I'm telling you what I just saw. And they said right after I called, and it only happened to, where my building is at. You know how it's only the 3 buildings in my, like it's 2 other buildings in my little huddle. Only this section had the problem. They don't know. They were digging up and moved, so they don't know if it came from them digging stuff up. They don't know, but I tell you what, they rectified the situation. Thank God, because I'm when it comes to mice, when I tell you I cannot handle it. I cannot handle it. Like I cannot handle it. I'm not
into mice or rats in any.
Oh my God, I cannot handle it.
There's a daycare on the other side of my yard, and while they do keep their place pretty clean, it happens.
Yeah, and
every now and again.
So anyway, what I was gonna say is, the guy said to me, he said, Miss Bellamy, I've been in multi-million-dollar mansions, and guess what? They had mice. So he said it's not always about, people think it's, if your house is clean, or if your house is dirty, or if you live in a poor neighborhood. He said that has nothing to do with it. Because you can live across the street from a field and you get field mice. And I know a lot of people that live in like the area that I live in, and they would tell me, like you said, every winter they get mice in their garages. I know people that live in Pike Creek that tell me they get mice in their garage. So
no matter how clean the place.
Yep. So Lord have mercy. That's the kind of stuff for me that causes me anxiety. Like I cannot handle it. I think God has been very gracious to me.
For thinking about getting a cat, don't get a cat.
Right, because you may get the one that don't catch mice. Oh my gosh. I remember when I used to live in New York, we end up having a rat problem. Not a mice problem, an actual rat problem.
And let me tell you, these New York rats are different.
Baby, listen. They could have had the entire apartment. You hear me? Let me tell you. One time, we had a rat in my apartment. This is no lie. And I'm not exaggerating. This thing probably was the size of my cat.
No, she's not lying. She's not lying.
I'm no exaggeration. When this thing jumped, it jumped from over by our kitchen sink, we had a little small table in the kitchen, and into
you realize you're about to give me just a coronary right now listening to this story.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, she's telling the truth. I have family in New York. Every once in a while, I might go up to New York to visit, to shop, whatever.
I'm telling you.
These things, and they are not scared of the subway.
They are. Let me say, and I told Mike, I said, Mike, get. You know what my cat did? My cat dropped to the ground, put his paws over his eyes, and did nothing. I could not believe this cat laid down and put his paws over his eyes. I said, Mike, get. Mike was saying, ma'am, you can see your Mike get all you want. I don't want nothing to do with that rat. That rat is the same size as me. You better go ahead somewhere, ma'am. And so anyway, I had somebody to come in and put poison in and put still wool, and then we put some foam in, and that's how we ended up getting them out of our apartment. But
let me tell you, poison. If they eat the poison, they will die anywhere. So you might come out of your bedroom, open the door, and then there's this giant dead rat laying in the hallway. You're having a heart attack.
Yes. So thank God that didn't happen to us. Lord God, thank you that did not happen to us. Because God has been very merciful to me. Because I guess God said, it's not her time, and I don't want this girl to have a heart attack. Like, I'm telling you, everybody told me some people have fears that some people are scared of snakes. I don't like. I just I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, oh my God!
I can take a lot. I can take snakes. I can take most things. But to talk about a rat.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. I don't want to talk. Now, mind you, I have to be honest. There's some fears that I have that are just ridiculous because I don't know why I have a fear of it. Never seen one in person. Other than probably at a zoo. And yet, I tend, if I think about moving, I research, are there black bears here? Are there bears there? Bears. Bears, coyotes. I think about, I always when I watch these shows of, people moving to Montana, moving to Utah.
You're not in Montana.
No, I know, but I'm saying when I see them moving to these places, and all I'm thinking about, oh my God, don't you know this place has mountain lions and they have grizzly bears? But people don't care. Everybody is not like me. Some people don't care. They're like, you may not ever see this thing. I would love to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Now, that is a place that most likely you will run into a black bear.
I went to Florida. I never saw a gator.
Well, I went to Florida. I never saw one. First of all, I went to Florida. I never saw a black bear, a cougar. I didn't even know. I just found out maybe some years ago that there were black bears and cougars in Florida. I had no clue.
And what people don't seem to realize is that I can't believe this animal is here. I know this might be hard for you to understand, but the animal was there first.
Well, that's what people say. And that's what people say they get upset about when people go hiking into places, especially when you live in an area that has wildlife. And then they go hiking into certain areas. And then they run into a bear or something like that. And then now this bear has to get killed because you hiking in their territory. And so I see people in the comments all the time. Well, they can't be attacking people. And people are like, do you know they were here first? That was their territory first.
That was their territory. You decided to go in there and tear out trees.
Right, and build.
Don't like doing. And put in a house where there's wildlife.
Right.
Don't get mad at the wildlife. That's like somebody walking into your house and saying, I can't believe you came home.
Well, that's another story because that's talking about these squatters. You know what I mean?
Oh goodness, that could be a podcast for another time.
That seriously, because that right there, I have no. Like you said, that's another conversation because.
That's a whole other conversation about squatters and squatters' rights.
Right,
And things
like
that.
I don't even understand how you have
squatters'
rights.
Really ties into.
Yeah, that's what everyone is saying.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother story. So, but my point is, for people who are fearless and don't care, I commend you. But that's just like, I guess there's people that will not go into the ocean because there's sharks and jellyfish and other things. I'm not opposed to going in the ocean. I'm not going to go but so far.
I have swam in the ocean, but like Shaniqua just said, I tell my sons and anybody who will listen to me, you must respect the water. Water is much stronger than you realize.
Absolutely. You have to pay attention, like you said, pay attention to the patterns and stuff like that. Because you don't want to get swept away in the waves.
Because I unfortunately, kind of knew a poor young man who died in the water. Please, if you're going, I know this has nothing to do with what we were talking about. Well, maybe just a little bit if you're going on vacation. So if you're going on vacation, even if you're a strong swimmer, and I consider myself a pretty strong swimmer, I do laps in the pool about once a week. Swimming in the pool and swimming in the ocean, completely different.
Completely different.
Completely different. So even if you have swam in the ocean, which I have, it's choppy and the undercurrents are not to be played with.
Nope.
People have been, professional swimmers have been swept under.
Because like she said,
I recommend only going up maybe to your knees, maybe your thighs, and stay close enough where you can, if the current starts to get strong, you can fight your way back onto the sand.
And you know what I learned recently?
They
said that if you're about to get swept away, don't try to fight by, you know how most people become frantic and start moving. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. They said the best thing is to try to float. And float
along the shoreline until you can get back up onto the sand.
Yes, they said don't. And also, for those who may be talk about going on vacation, who may be afraid of the ocean, because they're afraid of sharks and different things, I will tell you, do not go in the ocean around dusk, and do not go in the ocean around dawn. They said those are the times where sharks really are more active. And also, I read, don't go in areas where there's piers where people actually fish from, to try to not go swimming in those areas either. Because the same way people are trying to fish, the sharks are around there trying to eat. So, I'm quite sure many of us have been in the ocean and sharks probably were all around us and we had no clue.
And please don't let that deter you from going on vacation. Please live your life.
Yes, please don't be like Shaniqua.
My birthday was just this past Saturday, and my niece ordered alligator sausage sliders. I had never tasted them before. They weren't bad, but, experience things. I didn't know what they were going to taste like, but at least I had an experience. Don't let your overwhelming fear of something take your experiences away, because some of y'all, especially us black folks, we get scared of the thought of something.
She's speaking to Shaniqua right now.
I'm
not.
No,
you really are. I just told you about bears and coyotes. I freak myself out. I scare myself out of going. I didn't realize Paris has wolves. I said, what? That would just walk around. I said, what?
I did not see a wolf the whole time I was there.
Okay. But I had no clue.
I was there for 5 days, and if you know me at all, you know I'm an explorer. I will not stay in the hotel. I will walk around everywhere. I did not see one wolf.
Rhodey is the type of person I would need to go on vacation with. Because if I go on vacation by myself, I'm really not going to do anything. But I would need to go on vacation with somebody like Rhodey to really explore and get myself out of my comfort zone to see other things that I normally would not see, or eat things that I normally would not try.
Take a bite bite of it. You might like it, you might hate it, but at least I tell people this, and then we're going to bring this episode to a close in a few minutes. I tell people everything that you like right now, you tried for the first time. Whether you were 5 years old when you tried it, whether you were 17 when you tried it. You may love it, you may hate it, but how will you know if you don't taste it?
And the truth is, some stuff you like right now, a year from now, you may hate it.
That is absolutely true. You may not, things that you think you have your life set in stone. Because trust me, whenever the subject comes up, I'll say, this is not the life I thought I would have.
Listen. Listen, let me tell you, that's another podcast. I'm telling you.
We might do that next week.
I was about to say we can do that.
I
was about to say we can do that next week. This is not the life that I thought I would live. Because, honey,
life I thought I would have.
Let me tell you, this is not the life that I thought I would be living at all. At all. I thought by now I would be very established in my career. I thought
my life would be completely different.
I thought right by now my business would have been blooming and just growing, and I would have already had at least one of my boutiques open. I thought by now I would have been on the New York Times bestsellers list. This is not the life that I thought I would be living.
No, at all.
But this is my hope and this is my prayer that I'm eventually going to live the life that I want to live. It may not be right now.
It starts today.
But eventually it's going to happen. And that's what you have to do. Just take small steps. Small steps. Even if, for example, small steps. If you want to lose weight, don't look at the big number of how much. So say like if you want to lose 100 pounds. Don't look at the entire 100 pounds. Look at, I want to lose a pound to 2 pounds this week. Accomplish that.
I'll have a glass of water today.
Right. Maybe you're a person that don't like to drink water. Try putting lemon in your water. Try putting lime in your water. Because I know for me, that helps me. If I put lemon and lime in my water, I'm able to drink it. And I also know for me, room temperature water, it's easier for me to drink than really cold water.
And your preference for water will probably change over time. Because let me tell you something. 30 years ago, you could barely get me to drink it. Now I keep a whole BJ's case in my house.
Yeah, so life is sunny. Life is sunny. Life is funny. Life really is funny. And I know we digress all throughout this episode, but we really wanted to talk about vacations, but we initially started talking about our pets. And the funny thing is, like I said, she initially did this. Today was her day to pick the topic. And initially she said to talk about our fur babies. And then she changed it and said, well, let's talk about needing a vacation. And we end up talking about our fur babies anyway. And anyone out there who's a pet owner know that it does not take much, like, just to get into a full conversation, because they are so funny. Like, they add so much joy to your life. So much joy.
They really do.
They really add so much joy. But we thank you guys for being with us, for listening to us for another season. Season 2, you guys. Season 2.
Season 2.
I'm so excited. My God, season 2.
It took us years to even do episode 1 of season 1.
Yes, so to be saying season 2 of Not Your Average Church Girls with a Z podcast, let me tell you, I never clap. How you say it? Give myself a clap on the back. But
yourself on the back.
Yes, I'm really happy about this, that we actually took that leap of faith.
Because it is a leap, and as we have told you guys several times before, if you think that you're going to put an episode out there and then you're going to have 10,000 subscribers after the first week, that probably won't happen.
Nope.
But if you have a need in your heart, it's a couple of projects I have on the side I haven't started yet. Just go ahead and do it.
Yes, just do it.
Come.
Just because you never know. What I mean, like, there's a lot of people that are very successful now, but it took them so many different tries to get successful at what they're doing. So it may, you may not be successful at one thing, but God may allow you to be successful at another thing. And then sometimes that one thing that you're trying to be successful at, it takes time. Look at Tyler Perry. He talks about his plays all the time. How it took time for people to start coming to his plays. It was very discouraging at first.
Yes, he said that most of the people at his plays were people that he knew personally.
So you just have to keep going.
He was running the concession stand. He was running the ticket booth. He was running everything.
Yep. But I feel like when you're at that level, it teaches you about, everything about your company or your business. That way, when you are in a position where you can hire people, nobody can pull the wool over your eyes, because you know what it takes to. You may not know everything, but you'll know the basics.
Yeah.
Like when I first started my business, I didn't know anything. So I had somebody working with me, and the person was a Christian. Now, how when you're a Christian, somebody else is a Christian, you assume that, everybody is up and up. I realize now that when I will pay for the person to do my designs, paying $25, $35 for one design, now I could get one design made for $5. So, like, this person was charging me an astronomical amount. I had no clue that he was, like, the amounts he was charging me was extremely expensive. But, you learn and you grow. I spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of money because I didn't know. And that's, it's growing pains. It's growing pains. You have to grow. And you have to learn, and you have to evolve. But that's the thing about when you're doing everything, you'll find out, okay, wait, it doesn't take all this and that. And you have to start making sure you research stuff for yourself. Don't just believe everything someone tells you.
No.
Because
either that person may not know, or that person may be getting a kickback from the person they're referring you to.
Absolutely. So it's good, like I was saying about Tyler Perry, that he had to be the producer, he had to be the director, he had to be the writer, So he knows what it takes. So when he have to hire other directors or hire other producers, and if they're saying, well, I'm charging amount, he knows, depending on if this person is coming with a resume, that this person is worthy of the amount they're asking. But he knows the work that goes into it. That's my whole point. You know what goes into it. If you don't ever do anything yourself, if you depend on everyone else to do stuff for your business, that you're not going to be in business long.
No.
You're not going to be in business long. So yes, take that leap of faith, but also do your due diligence. Do your research on your business. And Rhodey and I talk about this all the time, even when we're not on a podcast. It's easier said than done. Yeah. But it's very important. Don't get caught up looking at other people, looking at other people's processes, looking at how someone else is succeeding in life. Stay focused on your path. Stay focused on your journey. Stay focused on what God has called you to do. Don't try to do something that someone else is doing because they're successful at it. If God has not called you to do that, don't try to do it. And even if God has called you to do it, if he hasn't called you to do it like that person is doing it, don't try to copy off of someone else. Because what you have to realize, what may work for Rhodey may not work for Shaniqua. What works for Shaniqua may not work for Rhodey.
Exactly. Keep your eyes on your own paper. That's what they used to say back in school.
Yeah, right. That's what they used to say back in school. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Yes. Keep your eyes on in your own lane.
Because, there were kids back in the day when we were in school. They would copy somebody else's paper, but the other person's paper was wrong.
Let me tell. I'm going to say this, and we're going to end this. That happened to me. That happened to me in college. We had a huge accounting test, and I was insecure because I overanalyze everything. And so I said, somebody was like, well, I think I got the right answer. So I erased all of my answers, copied off this person, put this person answers. Then all of this person answers was wrong, and all the answers that I had originally were the right answers. That taught me a lesson. I was so mad at myself. I said, Shaniqua, that I can't be mad at this person. Only person I can be mad at is myself. So I say that just to say, trust your process. Your process is unique to you. Your process is not like anyone else's process. So, to end that, I'm glad you guys joined us for Season 2, Episode 1 of Not Your Average Church Girls with a Z. And we hope that you got something out of this episode. I know we were all over the place. Yeah, but if you listen to us, you know we do that quite often. We never stay focused on one topic.
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Stay on one topic.
Yes, we just go with the flow. But thank you for rocking with us from Season 1. And don't forget to download, subscribe, like, comment, and tell someone else. Don't keep this good show all to yourself. Allow somebody else to be entertained. Allow someone else to laugh. Allow someone else to be encouraged and uplifted. So tell someone else. It doesn't matter who it is. You could be on a bus and be like, hey, have you heard about Not Your Average Church Girls with a Z podcast? You should look that up. Go on Spotify.
You should share it.
Yes, share it. Share it on your Instagram page. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on TikTok. Just share it so that we can grow. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time. We love you guys. God bless you and God bless you.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.